But I know that as I stand in this city, stand in this place, walk the streets, I'm more of a tourist than I am a local person. I understand the language okay, but sometimes they talk so fast I don't understand what they're saying. Good morning and welcome to Vietnam. This is our third day in Vietnam and finally got away this morning before everyone is up to make this video. The last couple of days has been a little hard, a little tiring. Behind me right here is the Mekong River, which what you're hearing are some boats passing by, and hopefully he'll be gone here in just a second. I've been waiting for about a minute and it just kept on going that way. It's currently low tide. Not sure why it matters, but as you see, the stuff is moving out into the ocean. If you're new here and you don't know, this is the country that I was born in, but it was not the country that I grew up in. I left Vietnam when I was 12 years old and went to America. Well, I left and went to Canada and then I went to America. And I have been there ever since and I've never been back. This is my first time being back in Vietnam. So I actually have spent more time in America and than I have here, if you count the years. I have been off YouTube for a while, if you haven't noticed. The last video that I uploaded talking about this trip was the first time that I've been on YouTube for about 8 months. But I want to capture these videos while I'm here because I want to capture the memories that come with them for my kids and stuff like that in the future. I'm sitting at a weird angle so I can get this backdrop over here instead of just a white wall. So if it looks weird, just let me know. It's too late at that time anyway. So this is our third day here. This is the third morning for me and my family here. It's me, my wife, and my 2 children that came on this trip. We will talk a little bit more about the trip in just a second. So this is the third morning for my wife, myself, and my 2 children here. It was not an easy trip to make with 2 little kids. I think if the kids are 3 or 5 or whatever, like my daughter, it was probably a little easier. But my son, who is 11 months old, it was a little harder for him because he had to stay to a certain nap time and stuff like that. When you fly with children like that, you have 2 options. One is you fly as a infant in arm, where they don't charge you the ticket, they charge you the tax on a ticket, and then you basically hold your child for the whole flight. You don't have to, but there are 3 of us, me, Katelyn, Margaret, so somebody would have to hold Grayson the whole time. I didn't want to do that, and it was Margaret's first trip, and we wanted to make it go as smooth as possible. We know that Grayson sleeps well in his car seat. It's going to be a long 16-hour flight for the first leg, and then a 6-hour flight for the second leg. So we actually bought him a ticket so we can bring his car seat on the plane. So when I called Delta said, oh yeah, that's what you need to do, blah, blah, blah. So that's what we did. Well, from United States, I flew to Incheon, Korea, South Korea. Was fine. There were not a lot of sleep for Margaret. I got about 6 of the 16 hours of sleep. Katelyn got some sleep. Grayson got some sleep. And we actually flew out at 11:30 at night. The reason for that is I want everybody to go to sleep. So we got some of that. We got to Korea about 6 o'clock in the morning. And it was not easy traveling with 2 kids. I had my backpack on me. I had a camera case that I want to carry back here. So then I had his car seat, Grayson's car seat in one arm. Margaret has 2 backpacks for the kids. So while it's a lot harder for us to travel, to me it was worth it. Instead of taking an escalator, we have to go around, take an elevator, and we were lost in the Incheon airport. Finally, we got to a place. We got ready. I checked with them. We were about to board, and they said, oh no, you can't have your car seat on the flight for Vietnam airline coming out of Korea. I said, what do you mean? So I tried to explain to the guy, hey, I paid for this, blah, blah, blah. He said, well, that was between you and your American airline. Here, we don't do that. You should have contacted us earlier and made arrangement. And I'm like, oh, okay. So for the 6-hour leg from Korea to Vietnam, Grayson was just fussy because he was tired, he was ready to sleep, but he didn't have his car seat. And it was hot. Anyway, so it was a rough flight for Margaret, Katelyn, and myself. I tried to handle Katelyn while Margaret handled Grayson, but it's just rough. And then by the time we land, got my family, saw the van, we got in the van, and we started heading home, and Grayson just passed out. But that first night we were here, we were so tired that my parents made us food. We got into Vietnam. We got back to Vinh Long, which is where I am. This is where my house is. And it was about 7 o'clock at night. We're starting getting the kids ready for bed, and we're just so hungry, but we're so tired we couldn't eat. We wanted to bed. Then, the first day, right? So that's the journey, and today is the third day, the morning of the third day. Enough about my complaint. Enough about that. So this is my third day here. I've been away for 20 years, and while a lot of things are different, a lot of things are still the same. My memory changed a little bit based on what I remember. I don't remember a lot of the people that would come up and say hi to me because I don't know who they are. And I think part of that is because I left when I was so little, that part of memory doesn't exist. If I see them today and in 20 years I see them again, I probably would recognize them. In 20 years that I left, and as I wandered these streets the last couple of days, just walk around, look at things, a lot of things are, as I said, a lot of things are different, a lot of things are the same. You see the fish market in front of my parents' house. It's the same as it was 20 years ago. They get started at night about 9 or 10 o'clock. They would have this huge overnight fish market. And it's for people who would come from other areas, come and buy a lot of fish and take it back home and sell it. It'll wrap up about 7 in the morning. The streets will be clean of all the fish. The smell would still be there for a few hours, but then other than that, it's fine. My parents still sell the same stuff, similar stuff, not necessarily same brand, but similar stuff for the last 20 years. Their day still starts about 6:30 in the morning, so they're about to open the store right now, and it's about to be 7 o'clock. I'm gonna go help them. Then they close their shop about 9 o'clock at night. They help each other. They eat when they can. Used to though, this is the back of the house where we're sitting right now. They would have two fronts, one in the front, one in the back, and my dad would manage the front, my mom would manage the back. So they don't do that anymore because it's just too much. So now they just open the front together and work together. What's new though is they got older. I can tell that. They got weaker. I could tell that. But when I wander these streets, I thought a lot of things are the same, but a lot of things are not. I don't remember some of this stuff now, but you know, things seem to be a lot smaller. This hallway was huge when I was little. We used to hang clothes out here to dry. Now it's a little smaller. There was a playroom that I had. They had to rebuild this house a few years ago because it was flooding. During the rain season, the house was actually below the road level, so it flooded the house. So they had to tear it all down, rebuild it. From this house to my grandma's house, when I was little, I would walk back and forth all the time, and I'd carry stuff back and forth. But it seemed like it was so far, and it would took 10 minutes or something like that to get there. And I've been walking these streets, and it would take a minute. So things just change. They have like these centralized markets. You want random things is over here, you want vegetables is over here, you want fish is over here. Like right here, it's the fish market. The vegetable market's over there. But those used to seem like it takes a long time to get there, but no, not anymore. But I know that as I stand in this city, stand in this place, walk the streets, I'm more of a tourist than I am a local person. I understand the language okay, but sometimes they talk so fast I don't understand what they're saying. Or they would use these words that I have no clue what it means. So I would look at my brother, or look at my dad, or look at my mom, or look at my uncle, and they would answer for me. Yesterday we went to do some paperwork for something, and the lady asked me a question, and I was like, and my uncle would answer. The Vietnamese people have a thing that says "Sư la quê người," as in it's a strange place, and it's someone else's home, and not yours. And that's the way I feel. Just like if I were to go to Italy or something like that, same thing here. There are a lot of things that change though. The city is a lot nicer. There are a lot more nicer buildings, a lot more supermarkets. The hospital is nicer. It's not as you remember. They tore it down, rebuilt in the last 20 years. When I was growing up, everybody was riding bikes or bicycle. If you have a motorcycle, that was a big deal. Now, people are driving cars. They have cars everywhere. you would drive down the street and there would be cars parked in front of people's houses. So people have gotten wealthier, I guess. I used to walk to school from time to time if my parents are late because they're busy and whatnot. Now, yesterday I saw when school was let out, kids were being picked up in cars. So things just change. I'm sorry about the noise. The fish market's back here, but it's realistic. I know that I'm talking like an old person now, back in the day, but my parents have really gotten older as I've been observing them. My aunt is older, my uncle's older. One thing I'm really thankful for is to have Margaret and the kids here with me, but mostly the kids. And most of all, it's about being thankful that I have kids because it gave me a different perspective. You know, I was telling Margaret yesterday, when my mom let me go, I was 11 years old to go for a better future. It's difficult for me to think about letting Katelyn go for 20 years. And when she's gone, she's just a little girl. And now she comes back, she's a woman married with kids. And you just miss so much of their lives. I would say that I don't know that I could make the same choices they did. I would say that I don't know that I could make the same choices they did, but if they didn't, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't have the future that I have. My kids wouldn't have the future that they have. So a lot of people talk about the struggle that I have to go through to graduate college, graduate high school, have a degree, and the sacrifices that I had to make. But it's the same. They made a bigger sacrifice than I did. And having kids gave me that perspective. And God allowed me to take my children here, allowed me to see that differently. Katelyn and Grayson have been loved, spoiled the whole time they're here. Whatever they want, they got. The food is a little bit of a new thing for them. They eat what they can. Margaret's the same. It's not always easy. It's hard to find what they're willing to eat just because of different smell, different flavors and stuff like that. But they've been trying everything and they loved it. The first day, my mom bought me cơm tấm, and that was good. And then they had meatball soup for Margaret and Katelyn because Margaret won't eat that. We're gonna try it today. Yesterday we had soy măng, and Margaret liked it. Katelyn liked it. Grayson, he didn't get to eat that. And then for supper, Margaret had phở, and I had cánh gà chiên nước mắm. We didn't offer that to Margaret because she wouldn't eat that. So it's been fun. It's been good. And for a while there, I thought that I would be able to make a video like this every day, but I won't. It just won't happen. But anyways, I'm gonna try my best to do what I can and capture these memories. Like right now, I'm about to go downstairs and help them open the shop. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Grayson. Hi, Grayson. Feed him, Mama. Hi, Grayson. Hi, Katelyn.
Hey, Daddy.
Hey, you go get Katelyn. Be gentle. Be gentle.
No.
Be gentle.
But he's trying to take.